Hey gang, I'll show you why I need a 3/4 ton. This is the small covered trailer, and we have 24 foot as well. So that's why Zippo needed to have a 2500. Way to go, Ruby. But today we are switching out this manual for an electric. So let's get down to it. All right, we got the old one out. I say old, this trailer's not very old, but easy enough. Just take 3 bolts out and it comes right out. So we can set that one aside. And I bought the biggest capacity battery that I could, and I measured the box. I should have looked in the box because I've got all this wiring to contend with and fit the battery in there. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to bundle those wires and try to get them to settle down deep down in there, because there is a shelf here. If I can get all the wires below that, then this battery will just slide right in. It might look familiar. I really like these Powersonics. It's what I use on my engine hoist, for my winch that I've got in the bed or in the toolbox. They last a long time, and if they're good enough for Google, they're good enough for me, because that's where I got a whole bunch of these, was from a battery test facility that my buddy Jeff works at after they were done with the testing. And that was almost 10 years ago, and well, there's 2 of them. Fortunately, there's no music playing, there's just a bunch talking. But yeah, I mean, you can see here it's the same thing. And I've got these here just for bench testing things, like my new door lock actuators for Ruby. The old door lock regulator or opener is in there somewhere, I think. Didn't I pitch it? Pretty sure I just pitched it. It just got weak. This is the battery for the electric brakes. Well, the electric brakes were tripped on that, and the pin that goes in is out, and they have not used that in years. We're always really careful when we attach our trailers, but you never know, something might come up and bite you in the rear. Having said that, we'll see where we're going to go from here in that regard. But this battery was completely flat, and it's a small one. It's not very big at all. It's a 5 amp hour. I think this one's a 9 amp hour that I'm putting in there. Yeah, 9 amp hour. So this will last a good long while. And these are AGM absorbed glass mats, sealed batteries, and they can be mounted in any configuration. So we may end up just going ahead and mounting it somewhere else, or see if I can't fab up a box that we can mount it in. But at any rate, right now I'm still just kind of in the thinking stages on how I'm going to get to that. The wiring's not a problem. It's getting that battery in that box with all those wires. But as you can see here, the pin's been pulled, and so they just disconnected the emergency electric brakes. So, and again, you guys are going to hear my phone go off, and the reason you're going to hear my phone go off is because it's what gives content to the channel. So yeah, all right, let me do a little bit of thinking. I'll turn you guys back on when I've got a game plan. Let's just go ahead and break the box open here and grab that sucker out of there. It's got a nice foot on it. All right, maybe I'll grab that sucker out of there. Let me clamp you guys onto something. There. I can't clamp you there. Hang on. I'm looking. Good enough. And these are really nice for older people, and older people is what this is going to be used for. And we can see right here our controls are right on the box. You have on and off, so you won't drain your battery if you make sure you remember to turn it off. And you have retract and extend. It's a single pole or double pole double throw switch here, and just a power switch there. But let's slide her down in the hole here and see how she fits, huh? Sorry about the squeaking. Boy, that's a noisy GoPro mount. Where's the hole? Where's the hole? There it is. Should just drop right in. There we go. And it came with the bolts, new bolts. I am going to put anti-seize on those as well, and the anti-seize will keep them from rusting. And then we have our pin for our shoe. So I'll take you guys off here, show you. Sticks up a bit farther than the stock unit, and it encroaches on the tailgate, but that's not a big deal. They want it, they're going to get it. So, and then we have just a single wire coming off of it because we use the jack itself as a ground. So all you need to do is power it and put a ground wire to it. So a little nuts. You know what that's for? That is in case, and it doesn't even fit. That's hysterical. Must be up top. There it is. Okay, it's up top. But if the battery dies, you can still raise it and lower it. So nice and handy to have that. Looks like they just took a regular socket. Yeah, they did. They just took a regular 1/2" socket and welded it to the rod. 19 millimeter. Well, whatever works, right? I mean, if I had to make a custom tool, that's how I'd do it, I suppose. I'm not sure what that bolt's for. I'm just putting the grommet back in, keep everything watertight. But I'll get a heavy gauge wire and get it ready to set my ground, which I'll probably just use this screw back here, and then one of the mounting holes I'll just rough it up a little bit up underneath, and again put some more dielectric grease there so that we don't have much chance of rust happening. So still haven't figured that out yet, working on it. Well, while the commercial's playing, got my ground right here. I ran that in, and in order to get it in, I did have to pull some of the wires just a little bit, not much. You can see right here, just a hair. Nothing that's at risk of getting water damage to it. Now all I'm going to do is take this, curl it up, and zip tie it, and zip tie it to the pipe right here down in this cavity, so that it's clean and tucked out of the way. And these are working. You can see here what I did was cut a slit right there. Just cut a slit down through the side of the box to put the wires just like they did the negative wire over here for the lights for the trailer. And nothing I did here is going to affect the lights on the trailer. And everybody that uses a trailer knows this battery is going to need to be topped off with a battery tender when it's sitting in storage, just to help prolong the life of it. So there we go, we're all set. I've just got one more to do, but that won't get done today. So appreciate you guys hanging out. This is a quick one, didn't take too long. Now it's time for me to get back on telling you guys, taking the walk of shame, telling you guys how much I've actually got in Ruby. There's one little gray area on Ruby as far as dollars and cents goes that I'm just not going to include, but that'll all be clear when I show it to you. And then I still have the AC to get installed, so there's still going to be more. And I've also got this back brake every morning. likes to hang up, so I'm guessing I've got a broken spring or something in there, and a little bit of pulsing in the rotors, so we'll have to pay attention to that. But I'll talk to you guys about the semi-final tally on Ruby directly. Hey gang, well, in a previous video I showed you the dial indicator that I got in magnetic base and all that stuff. Along with that, and this has just been sitting in Ruby, I got some carbide inserts, a facing mill bit, 2 soft headed hammers, and this high-speed die grinder, also from Biggie Rat. And I also got a few Kohler parts here, because I do need to use 2 of these exhaust gaskets on Sean's power steering Sovereign. But we also got a box down here. My buddy Mr. Mule, Green Mule to you guys, sent me a little goodie box. So let's see what's in it. First off, you can tell by looking at that hammer that whatever they were striking. So I'm going to attempt to reface this and get it squared away. And I've already got 2 of these, and ironically they're the same. They're smaller, but they're the same. One's a full length handle and one is a shortened handle. There's the shortened handle version, and I don't remember what I did with the long handle one, but y'all can just trust me. I do have a long handled one somewhere hiding amongst my small collection of hammers. Yes. Yeah, it's not jumping out at me, but it's here somewhere. I like my hammers. Alright, let's see what we've got in the box. Now, I've already been through the box. I couldn't wait, but I didn't want to not show you guys what was in there. Right? Right. I guess I moved that stuff to the wrong side. Okay, here we go. And one of these items is going back into the house, into the office, where I do some pew work. This is the coup de grace right here, and it turned me on to a tool company that I didn't know existed, and that is Grace Tools. And this is a Grace USA BH, stands for brass head, in 4 ounce. So there it is. Very, very nicely done, and made in the USA. And you know, a company knows what they're doing when they choose their handles and they get the grain exactly right. It's the direction that you want your grain to go in on your hard ash handles. So, Mr. Mule, thank you very, very much for that. Then we've got a couple of decals in here. We have a Miller Welding decal, Briggs and Stratton decal. We'll find a good home for that, probably on Ugly Alice. We can probably put both of these on there. And then a Simplicity decal, which I thought was pretty neat. So we'll find a place for all those. And then lastly is a truck plate from North Carolina. Farm truck plate, to be exact. Right there. So another plate to add to the wall, and we will get that added to the wall post haste. I don't think there's anything in that bag. Nope, Nothing in that bag. And nothing underneath that piece of cardboard. So we got through all of it. I really like soft blow hammers, especially with a lot of the things that I work on out here. So there are a lot of, wait a minute. Oh, that's a ball peen. But I have a lot of, you guys don't see what I'm doing. Got a lot of dead blows. Like here's a small brass face dead blow, and then a larger brass face dead blow, and then a dead blow ball peen. And none of them are snap-on. I'm not going to pay those silly prices. These still swing and they still do the job. Right? Right. And we've got this is not a dead blow. Let's see, who's this made by? I can't make that name out. But at any rate, this has replaceable heads. And it is weighted. It's got a SP205 stamped in there on one side. Maybe that'll help with figuring out who makes that. And we have the S-Wing dead blow with two different hardness tips on them. That's the softer one, that's the harder one. And those are switchable as well, but I like my S-Wings. Then we come up, and in the back, this orange handle here, that is a dead blow. Then we have a rubber mallet and a ball peen, and my old trusty 16-ounce trim hammer from S-Wing. But like I said, I've got that in a full-length handle somewhere. If I come across it, I'll pop the camera back on. But I mean, it looks just like this one, only smaller, like the one I showed you over there in the tool cart. And I need your guys' opinion. I have two of these zip loader decals in silver, and what I was going to do is put them right along here, one on either side. So we've got the orange zip loader on the front, and then I thought, well, maybe just throw it on diagonally on the hood. It can be seen there. The loader obstructs your view of being able to see the decal if I put it there. So you guys let me know in the comments, and I'll go the route that that you guys suggest. The serious the serious suggestions, that is. But my buddy Scott printed those off for me, so I've got two of those. There's not a flat enough surface. I might be able to, you know, put zip loader here and then another zip loader over there. You know, that's a possibility. I'll just lay it there so you guys can get a visual. Just go here like that. But on this part of the hood, it's not going to work. I may be able to go right here. Let's set that there. Can we do that? Just get it up higher. No, we can't. We can't because of that grate. So, but there's the question for you guys. Where am I going to put that? It is Sunday, day of rest, day off. I'm going to go out and look at a 1996 WT 1500 truck that's for sale. Dave and I are going to go look at it and possibly go in halvies on it and get it squared away and just flip it. And I'm just walking around right now looking for that ever elusive hammer. I'm just not seeing it. It exists. You just got to trust me on that. But you can see here, I've got this brass hammer here, and what I use that one for is to tap on the top of the mill to release the collets or whatever I happen to have in there. Yes, I'm still hunting for that hammer. And I had a gentleman comment that he has the same mill vise, and that he got his to within 0.005 thousandths, I believe. I'm assuming that's lift and side-to-side play. And now I think what we're going to do is go ahead and get the paperwork out on Ruby. Ruby's not done yet because the AC is not in yet, but as far as being a fully functional truck, she's done. So we're going to go over I'm going to go over the papers real quick, and then I will give you guys a totaled up tally on what I have in the truck. And just to let you know, a truck in equally nice shape, but with the work truck trim, a 2500, 6 lug wheels instead of the 8, so it has the 10-inch rear end instead of the 12, or excuse me, 10 bolt rear end instead of the 12 bolt, and just some minor differences in the suspension. 15-inch wheels instead of 16. Just sold for $13,500. And well, my silly bean, I just happened to walk by Zippo's Green Giant, and I was like, well, duh, that's where the other one's at. Alright, let's see how much Ruby has cost Zippo so far. A lot of you guys have been asking. So right here we've got our oil analysis. You guys can pause it and then read what the report says. Everything came in line, everything did good with the oil analysis from Blackstone Labs. Now we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. Okay. Not including the deal with acquiring the truck, which was selling Sylvester, buying Ruby. That was not an even exchange. There was a little bit of cash that came out of my pocket besides what I sold Sylvester for, but that's to be expected. Newer truck, nicer truck. Yes, bad engine. So our grand total for everything that I've done so far, which is a lot more than just replace the engine, the rolling total is $5,879.96. That does not include $80.55 that I've spent since totaling up. So we're at roughly, what, 59 what? Come on, brain. 59.60 roughly, in that ballpark. Yeah, just over. Be 59.60 and 40 what? Yeah, and change. So anyway, real quick, we have what I've included is the tow to take the truck from here to Broadway Motors, the cost of the Napa reman, which was 62 or 26.42 with 475 coming back at me, wound up being 1950 for the engine. 21.18.17 with the taxes included, and that's a 3-year unlimited mileage. Broadway Motors total was $26.71. It's a 12-month, 12,000 mile warranty, in which they are going to be replacing the oil pan because the oil pan is leaking. It's warped at the front, so it's leaking out of the front near the harmonic balancer and out of the oil drain. Okay, the Napa AC compressor kit 30848, A1 muffler, which included cats, a Flowmaster FX, the exhaust plumbing, and install of O2 sensor. Thank God for Pat, because that would have been a $600–700 endeavor. But where I take my vehicles is where I've been taking them for over 20 years, and Pat's real good to me, so it was just $175 for the exhaust system. Did pretty good there. O2 sensor, bank 2, number 1, forward passenger, $72.75. Even right down to the third brake light bulbs and bubble mirrors and the exhaust tip that I picked up was $60.95. J-hooks for the toolbox, a whopping $7, so I didn't have to drill through the bed sides. Oil filter and first oil change was $30.64. Driver's exterior door handle, $41.24. Replace the door speakers. I'm still needing one. I'll go to the junkyard for it and get it for free. It's just the driver's side tweeter. That was $61.82. So as you can see, a bunch of different stuff. Passenger power door lock motor from the junkyard, $10, turned out to be no good. So then I went and bought door lock actuators for $30.55. Let's see here, Broadway Motors valve adjustment after the break-in miles, that wound up being $160, just $10 over his quote, which I was fine with that. I need to pick up the oil pan and gasket, so I don't have a price on it yet, but I'll find that out soon. Then we have, I bought a spare remote entry fob from the junkyard and got it programmed. It was 20 bucks. I programmed it myself, pretty easy to do. On your OBD2 port, it's pin number 4 and pin number 8. You just put a wire between them, and then you will hear the lock cycle. It'll lock and then unlock. At that time, you press and hold both buttons on the remote until the door is locked, and then that remote is programmed. You then have to reprogram your original remote if you have it by doing the same thing. Press both until the door lock actuates. Press both buttons depending on how many remotes you want. I always like having a spare remote. And then the oil analysis, which was 30 bucks. So that is our rolling total of what I say, 59, 60, and some change. So there you have it. Now, real quick, we're going to talk about the report for my particular VIN number. Turns out this truck is a lot more rare than what I thought it was. Give you a comparison. In 1992, there were 108,000 2500 trucks made. 108,000. And I'm just going by memory. It may be more than that, but it's definitely not less. 108,000. Okay, now we look at the 1999 2500s. 1,800 or 18,808. That's a far cry from 108,000. That's 90,000 less vehicles. So that's to start off with. This truck is one of 18,808. But as I go through and over here, it gives you a match. All right. So these are all of your options. And for those of you guys that want to get a report like this, you can do a one-time $5 and do 5 VIN searches, and that is at comp9.com, compnine.com. They didn't sponsor this, it's just who I use, and they give you a very comprehensive report and tell you what each and every one of your options are. But as we go through, we're looking at our option numbers over here, and we get down to, wow, that makes this truck one of only 782 with that particular comfort and convenience package. All right, so now out of the 18,000, it's one of 782, and as we keep going down, we will get all the way down to here. Only one of 37 trucks to have the interior trim combination cloth ruby red 79D. One of 37. So a lot of you people are like, dude, it's just a truck. Yeah, it's just a truck. But it's neat to find out that your truck is one of only 37 to have ever been made in 1999 with the same options. And that doesn't mean all the other options match, okay? That just shows it matches with this particular set of options. All right, so there you go. That's it. I'm gonna stop it there. We will do another update when another one is due. That'll probably be after the new AC components are installed. That comes with a new compressor, new collector, new high pressure switch, your PAG oil, your orifice tube or filter for the condenser, your flush, your can of AC system flush, and PAG oil. So I'm expecting that to be around $600–700. I'm going to check with them and see if they're fine with me doing the install and then letting them service it. That will save me a lot of money. That'll only run me maybe $150–200 at that point, because then they're just vacuuming the system out, flushing it, and then charging it and checking it for leaks. We'll just have to see what direction they want to go with. If they want to install the whole kit and they're reasonable on their price on installation, I'm fine with it. It should take less than an hour to pop the original compressor off, because it's sitting right on top, very easily accessible, and to also pop the collector off the firewall, again, easily accessible, very easy to get to, and replace those things. The only thing that's a little more involved with time is the smallest part that goes in, and that's the orifice tube, because the grill has to come off in order to get to that. So, but that's long enough. 10 minutes and 40 seconds and counting. This is your friendly neighborhood Zippo. Ruby and I will see ya when we see ya. Later. I'm out of here.